But yeah. But yeah. Anyways. Anyways. So good to have you boys here. We're gonna start off with some fun stuff. We're gonna do some catching up too. I wasn't planning on doing this. I wasn't planning on doing a follow up to the ADAM22 stuff. But what drops in my fucking feed? Like what drops in my feed just like an hour ago? Fucking these coomers, this cuck and his wife did a podcast together today. They did a podcast and they talked about it. Now I haven't watched it, and we're not gonna watch the whole thing. We're just gonna watch. We're just gonna watch some clips. I can't stomach the whole thing, and then we'll get into it because Anna stuff. I don't know where that's gonna go. It could be boring. This will at least be mildly entertaining at the very least. Big Tom says, "Who needs professional critics? You don't need them. Not when you got me. Completely unprofessional, but my taste impeccable." Let's see here. So because he's also a content whore, and this guy also really likes money. So if you guys don't know, over the 4th of July weekend, he basically spent his whole time making jokes about cucks, making cuck jokes, kind of being self-defacing, and he's kind of leaning into it. He talked to like 6 people so far. The whole week prior, he's doing nothing but talking about it. He's leaning into it. It's probably great numbers for his metrics because this is how these people think. I will publicly humiliate myself in front of millions of people, but hey, bro, got them clicks. Got them clicks. Trelling says, I watched a good doc Turkey Tom did on Bam Margera last night. Dude is a well of self-destruction. Oh, dude, I actually saw that came up in my feed. I was going to check that out. Trelling says, this guy grossed me out fully even before the cuck shit. Oh, yeah, he's always been a degenerate piece of shit. Especially as we learned by the end of last Friday's nightcap. Complete degenerate piece of shit. Kind of looks like he's actually kind of like one of these sociopathic grifter types where he just kind of adopts different personalities based on who he's around and is totally just trying to extract things from people for his own gain in a really almost like serial killer way. The guy is a nut. He's like Kalila. He's like a Kalila. Or is Lena the Plug Kalila? I guess we're going to find out. He brought his wife on. He brought the cuckstress on to discuss. Lena defends Adam, says he's not a cuck. And then there's another clip that we're going to watch after this, which is like how she chose the dude. And that Lena says Adam wanted her to do porn instead of being a full-time mom. Instead of being a mother to his children or to his child that they have together, he was like, no, I think you should do porn. I think you should do porn. I'm already a millionaire, but I could always have more money. I could always have more money. If I did this kind of stuff, I'd be driving that Dodge Laramie, that Ram Laramie with the Hemi. I'd be keeping it. Maybe I'm doing something. Trelling says, laugh out loud, Kalila. I've been watching stuff on her lately. What an absolute maniac she is. I have been too, because I'm looking for an angle to be able to do it on Nightcap. Like trying to find the succinct stuff. I know you had sent me some things on Instagram, but she is a wild bitch. And so much of it is just the subtle stuff that's gone on for years. I watched like a fucking, over a couple nights, I was like watching it when I went to bed, but I was so invested in it, I kept like rewinding it from when I fell asleep the night before. And like, it was like 3.5 hours of like everything that she is. Oh, Trembling says, take a guess on what ADAM22's ethnicity is. What are you trying to say, buddy? What are you getting at, pal?
Yes, in the world. And guys, never say that I don't give you what you want. You've all been talking about it. You all want to hear it. I got the one and only Lena the Plug, my wife, on the podcast.
So not, like I said, not only would he allow himself to be publicly humiliated, fucking destroyed publicly. This guy is such a content coomer. He's like, I'm going to ride this all the way to the fucking end, brother. All the way to the end. I'm bringing her on to get her perspective so she can humiliate me again.
to talk about recent events.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking about how like I'd probably never come on the podcast again, but if I f***ed another guy, so now I'm allowed to come on the podcast.
You thought you were never going to come on the podcast again?
I mean, it's just like, you know, no one wants the Lena the Plug interview, but then I f***ed someone else, and now it's like, oh, she needs an interview.
Okay, you did.
Hagbert says trivia break. Trivia break, everybody. Hold on. He got his first BMX bike as a bar mitzvah present.
An adult scene with
Yes.
someone else.
I mean, but it's like, and when I think about it, I'm like, okay, cool.
Well, when you were in your like mom TikTok era, probably that wasn't going to be the thing that.
So now we're getting into this. These are their layers of desire for attention from both of them. Maybe, you know, they got married because they felt like obligated to. Maybe that was the thing. But things are kind of stale. You know, things are kind of stale. They just fuck each other on camera and sell that to the public. Well, he gets to fuck other girls. He want it to be equitable. But maybe there's something about attention here. She's like, oh, I couldn't get back on the podcast. Meanwhile, he's like, no, I want you to get fucked by other dudes as a business decision, and you don't bring her on your giant podcast? Something's up, buddy. Something's up. You might be a cuck after all. Trelving says, I saw a pic of him wearing a hat that looked like a tiny tea cozy. I couldn't figure out what it meant. Hagbert says micro helmet. He's safety conscious. Yeah, he's got a very soft spot right here. This part of his head. Very soft. Take no chances, you know?
Made me like, okay, let's get her on. I had you on here, what, a year and a half ago with Flacco?
Yeah, I can't remember why we did that.
Just give you a little press.
Yeah.
Get some stuff out there.
I'd feel more comfortable if he was here. I feel really like uncomfortable with the fact that it's just you and I, and we're going to talk about this in front of my brother-in-law, Josh.
He's not paying attention. He's not even in here.
Oh, he left?
No.
Suddenly, you know, it's okay, guys. Like, she'll blow her fucking asshole wide open. Wide open for $5. You could probably go see this situationship for about $5. Her and James Love. Or is it Jason Love? James Love? Something like that. A black guy with a giant dick. That's cool. But when you gotta talk, that's a lot of times I think when you see people that live hedonistic lifestyles, they actually don't like discussing details. They like the experience. They like to be experiential. They like to feel everything, but they don't really want to discuss it. They don't really want to discuss it because she knows. She knows deep down somewhere this was a huge fucking mistake. No pun intended. Okay? Yeah, I know how I said huge. Like I was talking about a big old cock. But she knows.
God, I was like, oh, Josh is in here.
Don't put Josh on blast.
I just felt comfortable.
No, but this might actually be the first time that you and I have been on this podcast together, just you and I, right?
Yeah, it is the first time.
That's crazy.
Also, we got married.
He's like, yeah, that's crazy. It's almost like a kind of celebration. It's a celebration, dog. Big Tom says, small dicks just ain't cool, man. These are facts. Okay?
We did get married.
That didn't constitute me coming on here, but this event did.
It seems like an afterthought after the last week.
Yeah.
Not like actually, but in terms of content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even really talk about the marriage that much on here. Because it just seemed like it was so nice. It was great. The honeymoon was great.
Do you feel different? Because everyone's like, do you feel different now? I'm like, absolutely not. It's the exact same.
We made it official.
She's like, yeah, no, I mean, we made a commitment that's supposed to be for life. But, honestly, I don't feel any different. In fact, I hate you.
Nasty bastard. As soon as I pee on him, he comes.
Trevik says, Kalila looks like she should be cutting the heart out of a child from a conquered tribe at the top of a pyramid. She definitely does have like a little Aztec killer vibes.
If we were to use a Hollywood term, we'd say shots fired, shots fired.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully she doesn't see that. She doesn't see that she said that. Otherwise she'll find your IP address and kill you.
Official. We had a nice party with the friends and family and everything.
Went on the honeymoon.
But it's not like the rules changed. It's not like, we're going to do things differently now.
No,
we're married.
We already had the house, the kid.
Yeah, we did most of the series.
Now this is major. We're 2 minutes into this thing and we're not talking about what happened. Nobody cares about this. Nobody gives a shit. See, they're warming up to it. There's an uncomfortable situation going on here. You can feel it. Like you can feel like there is tension in the room between them. and they're waiting for it to be brought up. Like, who is going to be the one that initiates the conversation? I'm going to assume it's going to be the Adam guy because it's his podcast, right? He's the host. But if Lena the Plug is the one that initiates the conversation, we know who is in control. That's going to tell us a lot. In my professional opinion, as a professional nightcap guy, that's going to tell us everything we need to know. Drilling says she asked him like 5 times if he was okay with her doing this scene, hoping he would say no, but of course, my son David said go ahead and make that money. Yeah, because he's degenerate. And then he went around his grossest, most disgusting friends, like sex traffickers, people that Jim Caviezel's character would have put 2 in the back of the fucking head to in Sound of Freedom, like Sharp, the pimp. And he's like, I'm proud of you, brother, because they all talk like they're fucking 80-year-old smokers. I'm proud of you, brother. You got to go out there and make that bag, baby. You got to make that bag. Oh, yeah, man. I'm glad you let go. Brother.
Serious stuff in advance.
Dignity, self-respect, that ain't part of the game.
And just like, all right, I guess we should just do this too. Let's finish up. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, I guess. So, okay, this is the first thing that I thought might be useful for us to lay out. Let's lay out the chronological order of how the idea of you even working with other people became a thing. Because I have a memory of maybe 6 months ago where you said something like, do you really think that we're going to go our whole lives without ever sleeping with other people? And in the context of like, I think we were talking about swinging at first.
So they weren't even, oh my God, she initiated this conversation outside of the business side of it. She was just talking about swinging. She's not talking about like, oh, wouldn't it be a good thing for my career? Because that's kind of how he had framed it. Now he's coming clean. He's like, you kind of mentioned this, but you kind of mentioned it in a way about just like...
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Mel time.
Why did I say this?
Mel time. It's
no longer a business thing. It's just like an open relationship.
Yeah, I mean, because people don't really know this about you and I, but you just mentioned it on the podcast, so now I can talk about it. That we had a threesome early in our relationship with another guy, and that was just like, we went out, we partied, we had like a really fun, hot sexual experience, and we were always kind of down for like a little bit of freaky things,
There was like 2...
Now, do you think, I feel like ADAM22 is definitely the kind of guy that would get down with a chick with a dick. Like maybe that's what maybe he should consider this. Because she's like, wasn't it so much fun? Now, if memory serves me correct, I can't remember if I watched this on the nightcap or if I watched it in preparation of the nightcap. When he described that, he said his version of that story is he didn't really like it. He wasn't really into it. Now she's saying, oh, it was so hot. It was so fucking hot. Don't you know? Trebling says, of course, neither of these two can even fathom being devoted to a spouse. No, they can't. As soon as the walls started closing in, she was like... She was all like...
The feces...
Like she saw that bathroom, that's like a representation of how like she felt trapped. Prophet says, imagine you let your wife fuck another dude and she chooses the hold my pocket guy from Scared Straights. Facts. Imagine you let your wife fuck another dude and she picks the give us free dude from Amistad. Trelmick says, I wouldn't be surprised if ADAM22 likes being plugged by the plug. Now, I think he said no to that. But, he could be a liar. This guy could be a liar.
Were 3 other people in the room
just watching us,
who were not there to see us, but they just happened to be in the room because we're all just hanging out. This was back in the Adam and Lena party era that didn't really last that long. And at that time, to be totally honest,
now why didn't it last very long? Now, on the other thing that we watched, he said it's because he didn't like it. He didn't like doing like 3. He didn't like the Eiffel Towering. he was like, yeah, then she pissed on her face and I got a little pee on me and I was kind of grossed out. You know, I like seeing those kind of things. I don't like feeling.
I see, yo, my dick is out of control. I need to.
His dick is out of control.
You were pretty much a random girl to me.
Yeah.
We didn't have any kind of like emotional
emo night.
connection. Oh my God.
That's where we were in our lives. We went to emo night. Okay.
Shout out emo night. And I've always been somebody who throughout my life, there's been a bunch of different times where me and my homie might a girl together. Always enjoyed it with you that night. But then once we started to actually get closer and closer to like dating,
this was just like a normal thing. Like they live a lifestyle where they're like, is the girl to guy ratio that bad? Or they're like, oh, I guess I'm gonna hook up with my dude, my bro. I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures. But I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. This dude is a little Trustafarian. His family is literally connected to the fucking Clinton crime syndicate. I can't imagine this dude couldn't get laid. So that's a choice. That's a kink, man. I gotta say, I gotta pass. I gotta pass on that one, Home Slice. Hit it, brother.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
Hell to the nah.
it became like, no, we're not talking about that anymore.
We literally never talked about it again. And then we talked about it on the podcast.
We maybe didn't talk about it for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
I mean, also my friend went on to date the guy.
Drelling says, two people that murder any feelings of normalcy and decency from themselves. He also asks, what's the ritual at Bohemian Grove? Oh, you mean the cremation of care. That's the cremation of care. Yeah, they've killed something inside of themselves. They've killed the innocence. They've killed the conscience. Now they're just pure experience. They have no souls. They have no souls at all. They're like fuck dolls at this point.
For a really long time, so that's probably also why we didn't talk about it.
That is a good point, yeah.
But like, okay, when I think about that version of us and the version of us that isn't always going to do, who's just very into sex and likes to try fun and new experiences, I was just like, are we really never going to have an experience like that, even off camera, ever again?
And what spurred that conversation, I think, was the fact that we had multiple different couples on Plug Talk where either they were into the swinging thing or they just did with other people separately and stuff, and slowly it started to seem.
Do you think that they so they had all these, they do this porn podcast, I think it's called The Plug, something like that, where they interview people and then film a sex scene. Usually it's like they interview a porn star chick for like 45 minutes and then they do like a half-hour sex scene. He's involved with these things. But are they looking at these other relationships and seeing like happiness? In fact, I believe he told the story of like some guy, another porn star. He was a porn star who thought he could handle it. He thought he could handle his wife getting fucking plowed by that guy from Amistad that Prophet was talking about. And then he realized, I can't. This drives me crazy. I can't do this. I don't know how that worked out. Something tells me it probably didn't work out very well for him. It doesn't seem like it was a healthy, functioning relationship. Are they even thinking about that? They have a fucking kid. This is the craziest shit about this. They have a fucking kid. Their kid is going to have to go to fucking school. Are you telling me these people? I mean, maybe they go under secret names or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess his internet handle is ADAM22, but I'm sure his last name's out there. I don't care to look for it, but I'm sure it's out there. I know it's out there, rather.
Like, well, maybe this rule is kind of arbitrary.
Well, I think for us, it was also seeing those couples and seeing how turned on they got by having those sexual experiences with other people, which we had a lot in our relationship. When we would bring girls in, like, I would be so much more into you after and you'd be into me. It was like seeing your partner enjoying someone else's hot. It turns you on. So it's like, I feel like that is sort of like worn off for me because I've just gotten so used to it a little bit.
Exactly. That is the problem.
So she's looking for the next thrill. Imagine having to like emotionally manage all these things, like psychologically manage this shit. It seems like such a nightmare. It seems like it would be so much worse than worth it. Just constantly have to think about this and think about boundaries and navigating this stuff and checking in with each other emotionally. Like, fuck, who the fuck has time for this? Well, I guess people that do it for a living. I guess maybe they have time for it. Trump says the plug behind closed doors is called the chug because she drinks the party punch bowl of piss at the end of the night. This could be true. This could be true. You know, this is a thing now. This is like they've normalized this kind of stuff. Now, if we go back to the previous cuck story of the Hunter Avalon store situation with his wife, which that developed, I should have followed up on that. But that was one of the things she was going to do. Like the first time she ever made like a custom video for somebody, some fucking creep on the internet. She was going to make a custom video. It was going to be getting train fucked, gang banged by 9 black dudes, and they were going to piss on her outside at like some sort of fake barbecue. Well, it probably would have been a real barbecue. You know how black people be. But I'm just saying. It's so crazy how like that would be like nowadays that's somebody's like first gambit into doing something. It's not like something, I don't know, ease yourself into it. I'm not hopeful. I hate doing this shit sometimes because I get so black-pilled. And then I have like a great weekend with my family and my a couple friends, and like just hanging out kind of reinvigorates my spirit. I come back with a much more positive attitude, and like fucking 4 minutes into this video, I'm like, I want to die. I want to fucking die. I want to give up. It's over, bro. We're not going to make it. Trembling says, this is what happens when you're oversexed and overdrugged. You have no natural serotonin in your brain and never chill long enough for it to refill. You know, this could be a real thing. I believe it.
Like, what I feel like you would think it's hot to watch me have sex with someone else, because we already know you think it's hot. We did it once.
The title of this video says Lena defends Adam and says he's not a cuck. If he thought it was hot to watch her get fucked, then he's a cuck. Then he's a cuck. I guess he's just got to embrace it now. All the brothers, all the gangsters that he hangs out with, just giving him shit forever. It's never gonna end. It's never gonna fucking end. Yeah, man, you a unique guy, man. You a unique dude.
But that was like, my is in your mouth and he's in your vagina.
Yeah, I'm not saying you DP'd me, but like.
Right, but I'm just saying it's not like I was sitting in the corner, because there's a whole narrative.
Okay, I don't think you're a cuck. Are you gonna go with this?
Well, it does seem kind of stupid to deny.
Okay, so there's the cuck thing.
She fucking just said it. If it's hot to watch your chick get fucking railed by another dude, if you think it's hot, you are a cuck. This is a scientific fact. Prophet says, I wish we knew who foisted this on our society. I wish we had the last names of the founders of Blacked, Dogfart, and other such networks. If only we had the names. Listen, buddy, I don't know what you're getting at. I don't know what you're trying to say.
Thing is different because cucks are supposed to be weak, and they want to be made to feel lesser, and I don't think that that's you. I think that there's like the more swinging side of things where it's like you are turned on by your wife enjoying someone, and then she comes back to you, and you guys enjoy your own personal sexual experiences more with each other because she did that.
Right, but I mean, you have barely even done the thing that you're kind of inferring, which is like me going and fucking another girl and they're just like telling you about it. Because the one time, I think it was only one time on Plug Talk where you woke up and you were sick as a dog, and so you couldn't come to set that day, but it was a girl. Shout out Alva J. Everybody sign up on onlyplugtalk.com.
Everyone thinks I have beef with her now because she did this. I don't care.
No. Onlyplugtalk.com if you want to see the scene, but me and Alva.
She's like, it was a business thing, Adam. We had to get the bag. Trembling says, yet another degenerate woman who looks like an Aztec priestess. Listen, buddy, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're getting at.
Alva J, we did a scene while you were at home, sick as a dog, and you didn't want to see it afterwards. You were actually
before you left the house, I was in bed. I remember I was like, okay, go do.
So they all, both of them have like the natural reaction of kind of disgust. It makes them feel off. It makes them feel uncomfortable, and they rationalize and they beat it out of themselves. Be like, well, I can't feel it. I can't have emotion. I can't have love and attachments. No, we got to separate these things. These feelings I'm feeling totally naturally, they're fucked up. They're actually wrong. They're kind of bigoted if you really start thinking about it. It's really bigoted. It's really bigoted, man. If you're like, if your man, You know, like as far as I've heard, you know, Just Pearly things, other red pill guys, listen, dudes cheat. And if they film it and you make a bag, you know, that's just the way it goes, dude. You want a high value man though. That's all I can say. And you want men, they want high value women, okay? Women that will stay in bed. Stay in bed while you do your business.
Do the scene, don't tell me how it went when you come back, and I don't want to see any clips from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because when you came back from doing this scene the other day, I wanted to hear about it. And
a lot.
I wanted to know what I was going to.
More cuck tendencies revealed. She even look at her body language. She's like got her arms crossed. You wanted to hear about it a lot. You really wanted to get in there. You wanted to hear about this a lot. Yeah, dude. He's over there. He's building the picture in his mind. Pretty fucking whacking off, dude. Treving says exactly like Destiny's girl in Destiny if he didn't lie to himself every second of his waking hours. Yeah, that shit is, and it's so transparent that it's not like a great thing for their relationship. And I think they both know it, but they're so committed to it at this point. Like the optics of it, like the meta. They're committed to the meta that they won't let it go. They know they both have problems, but Destiny, he has the same thing that this ADAM22 guy has. He's like, well, she mostly hooks up with girls. She's in a girl phase right now, so it's, you know, it really doesn't even matter to me. Because I think, you know, my heart of hearts, I can be honest. I can be real. Like the thought of somebody like sleeping with a woman, like say my like wife sleeping with a woman or something. Like, you know, definitely still cheating, but I'd care a lot less. I'd be a lot less angry about it. I'm not even fucking with you. I'd be a lot less angry about it. I would probably divorce her still, though. It's about trust. It's about trust, guys. But I wouldn't be like wounded. I wouldn't be wounded. Trump says neither want to continue being degenerates, but that would mean admitting they were wrong. Accurate read.
To find out. I wanted to know, like, what's the most extreme thing that happened? How did it play out? That's more like me wanting to like manage whatever the fallout might have been, more so than like trying to avoid
the fallout. Was he trying to catch some drippings in his mouth? It's like Thanksgiving, buddy. Let that pan cool down and then just pour it on my face.
I don't know. Like, why did you not want to
I text Adam after the scene. I don't even tell him the scene's done. I'm just like, do you want anything from Dave's hot fried chicken? I just like act like it didn't happen.
That is true, yeah. But okay, so we've had, I don't know, maybe 200 threesomes over the year. That was our rough estimate. Maybe like almost 100 on Plug Talk, plus a bunch in our private life, plus a bunch for your OnlyFans. And
I like this whole mixture, because now you're opening this door. You're saying, well, you know, we have this business venture with this podcast. That's why we do threesomes. We also just do it fucking kind of whenever. You got to have differentiation. You got to have lines, okay? Even if you were going to be delusional and lie to yourself, at least if you were like, well, we do it for a job, and, you know, but when it's just us, we're in a committed relationship. Even if you just wanted to fucking be deluded, at least that would be something I could understand a person trying to rationalize. But when they're like, oh, we just do this all the time, dude. We just do this all the time. How could, so now you're opening this door up. Like, okay, you've done the threesomes and shit like that all the time. Now she's going to want Jason Love. She's going to want this guy coming over for sleepovers, pal. You're going to be in the corner, too, because you're going to be just embarrassed, Adam. You're going to be like, I'll stand out. You know what, Jason, you do what you do. She seems to really enjoy it. No, I don't need another girl. Okay, I don't need that. I'm fine, guys. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna eat some of this Dave's fried chicken. Big Paul says this couple is the manifestation of the coomers that keep looking for more deranged porn because the classics are now stale. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because their sex life has become so rote, but because they've started at this very extreme place. You know, they're starting at like 11. You know, most people start at like 2. Maybe 4. They started at 11. They don't know where to go. They're going to be fucking jerking off dogs like Kalila before the end of this. Before the end of this stuff, they're going to be jerking off dogs on OnlyFans. That's where this leads. I predict it now, today, July 6, 2023. At some point, these people are going to be fucking dogs for money. Trelling says he wants to treat her like an eclair. He does, yeah. He wants to fill her up. Fill her up, Jason. Fill her up that love juice.
Yeah, I don't know. Over time, we did just kind of start to sort of have that conversation. And at first, I think we considered the idea of like swinging on camera. And then that kind of seemed...
And you always suggested guys I would never want to fuck.
Yeah, that probably...
It was always unfair trade.
Intentional on my part, yeah, probably. But I don't know. Like, it just kind of seemed...
What did he do? Did he go like, what about my dad? What if you fucked my dad? He's cool. Lena, he's cool. He's fucking cool. He knows the Clintons.
Like, well, if you are going to do it for the first time, we should roll it out in a way that actually is as exciting as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I was never really thinking about like a rollout per se. And then I also, like, I knew it was going to be a big deal just because, you know, outside of you, I have a pretty big adult fan audience, and they literally every single comment on anything I post is like, do a scene with the BBC, do a scene with whatever, this person, blacked, whatever. So
listen, and you got to give people what they want, okay? If you don't give these coomers what they want, it's only a matter of time before they turn on you. These coomers will turn on you. They're a fickle bunch, coomers. They're kind of like VTube fans. You know, VTuber fans, they're the same way. They have the same kind of demands. Lena's like, you're not going to force me to graduate. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Trump says, what if you fucked William H. Macy or Steve Buscemi? I mean, they're cool. They're great actors. They're great actors. Academy Award winners.
So I knew that my fans were going to be excited, and I knew that the wedding thing was going to be a factor because it's like, why all of a sudden after you get married? But I didn't think it was going to be this big.
But it's weird because we had been talking about it before.
You know what made it a big deal? ADAM22 intentionally making it a big deal. Just saying. You gotta play like the babe in the woods. Maybe she is. Maybe she's an innocent. Maybe she's just a fucking retard. Hard R retard. She's just an idiot. ADAM22, the brains of the operation, he knows this is going to be a big payday in more ways than anyone could possibly imagine. Splish, splash, I was fucking your wife all along on Saturday night, okay? He knew it was going to be big. It's going to be as big as that Bobby Darin song. And that's why he did it. He did nothing but talk about it. Nothing but talk about it. She's just like, oh, tee-hee-hee, just the coomers are going to know. Nobody's going to care. He loves it, dude. This guy's a cuck, confirmed. He's got too many cuck. There's too many tells. Like, he's probably coming right now. He's fucking blasting a load right now just talking about this.
For the wedding, and sort of like, you know, the idea was in the air, even though we hadn't made a hard decision on.
It was weird because that's the message I sent to Jason, was like, hey, I'm going to get married and on my honeymoon, but when I come back we should shoot.
Right.
And he was like, okay.
All right, so you see it. We just hit.
You see it, boys. You see my wife about to get filled like an eclair. Okay, so now Lena on how she chose Jason Love for her first BBC scene. What's gonna get some of that background info? Trump says she's gonna fuck her stepbrother and talk him into suicide like Kalila. I know, dude. I learned so much about her on the weekend. I gotta figure out how to do something with that on Nightcap. It was entertaining. Prophet says, whenever I go on a nightcap with Sean, I FaceTime with my wife seductively and say, guess who's filming? I'm filming with tonight. And she's all like, yeah, she loves it. She loves it. It's very exciting. I'm glad, you know, I'm just happy to be part of what keeps you guys going, you know, keeps the fire kindled, you know, whatever I can do. You know, I'm a good boy.
That it being him or it being a black dude was the thing. But what people don't know is that when we were talking about it, there was a couple of different people that were considering, and it's not like they were all black dudes.
No, there's only a few guys in the industry who are like big on social media, very well known by like just right when you look at them, you know that guy.
Yeah, Lena the plug, will you please break down the science of it for me? Hit me some of that math. I will say though, if you're gonna, you know, if you were here for dollary dues, if you were here for $bucks, you know, I know who that dude was. I have seen him out there in the wild. I've seen that fucker out in the jungle, boy. On that porn jungle. Get in that bag. You gotta get that bag out. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, brother. Trumping says he specifies BBC, so that tells you immediately he's a cuck. Yeah, I agree. Listen, I'm convinced. She did also, that last clip was titled, Lena defends, says Adam's not a cuck. She did not defend anything. In fact, she may have just informed us. She may have validated our suspicions.
Guy, and I wanted my first scene to be like, a big scene.
And it's worth mentioning that we did a TikTok in Vegas back in January where, and this might have been like the first time we ever even joked about it on camera, but I said to him doing a little TikTok, I said, who's the hottest girl here? And then he put his arm around you and walked away with you. And that, I believe, has 9 million views on TikTok. And that, if we were trying to minimize the amount of people who were suggesting that you do a scene with another guy, that was probably not the best idea, because that made everybody want to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
I love how their lives are just no more interesting than a teenager's. They're still very much in that headspace. They're like, wow, isn't this crazy? This crazy life we have. Fucking making TikToks, dude. Whoa, dude, bro, whoa. And then, and then he put on his cat. Then ADAM22 put on his cat, and he got to thinking. He got to thinking a little bit. He's like, I could really make my bag. I can really get a good bag in on this one, brother. Jason Love, I need you to fill up my wife like a cannoli.
He was the obvious choice. I was like, oh, I have to go with him. This is what the audience wants. There's 9 million views on this video.
Definitely. So, okay, going into it, how did you feel?
Okay, so I didn't really know the shoot was going to happen until the day before the shoot.
That is a good
It all
point.
happened so fast, because in my head, I was like, oh,
Just
this is going to be
spiral,
my
dude.
debut scene. I'm going to need
Fucking, it just all came together so fast. It was a whirlwind. It was like a fantasy. She's like Cinderella riding that cock, okay?
2 months out. I'm going to go hard in the gym.
I don't know about debut scene. I mean, I am a human being, right?
No, but it's hard.
Look at it, dude. Look at it. He's coming right now. He's like, she's talking about she's never been fucked before. She's never had it so good. She's never had it so deep, so hard. She was excited. She was wet the whole weekend. Go to the gym. What are you talking about? You'll just be slipping off the equipment. Be a huge mess. Look, he's even making his little jerk off hand there. He's loving it, dude. He's loving it. Trumping says this harlot pushed the baby out of that hall of horrors, huh? As far as I understand, yeah. I don't know if there was any surrogates or any kind of that weird LA bullshit. It's possible. It's possible. But yeah.
Right. But everyone's talking about it it's my first scene, and it's not my first scene. I've been doing this for 7 years with you, but my debut scene with another man.
Another man.
Okay.
There we go. A different man.
A different man.
A different but equal but man, right?
Saying basketball American. He can't help himself because it's the nervousness. It's how gross he feels about it. This is how he's coping. This is major cope. Massive, massive cope. I mean, the girls don't lie. They don't lie. Prof says, imagine you let your wife fuck another guy and she chooses General Butt Naked from the Liberian War. Ugh. Damn, that would be you want to make some money. You want to make a bag. You want to make a bag. You got to do what you got to do.
Everybody in the room is laughing just in case anybody wants to know where the snickering is coming from.
But anyways, in my head, every girl does this, right? You have a photo shoot. You're like, I'm preparing for my photo shoot. I'm going to look good. This, that. I had all this shit in my head of what I was going to do to prepare.
But for me, I'm getting excited. It's Saturday and I'm about to play poker tournaments on Sunday. So I'm excited for that. And then Saturday morning, we're going to get breakfast. And you're like, hey, Jason is in town. I might shoot that scene tomorrow. And I'm like, huh, okay.
Yeah, it was awkward. My sister was there. She's like, I don't want to be here for this conversation.
Okay.
He's trying to eat his fucking scramby eggs, dude. The kids, they're somewhere. They're young children somewhere. They don't get to come to breakfast. They got maids, an au pair, maybe. He's a fucking millionaire. Yeah. He's trying to eat his scramby eggs. She's like, oh shit, that BBC, it just flew in. He's like, oh my God. Started coming all over the restaurant. They had to ask him to leave. They said, listen, Adam, you've been coming here for years. You've been coming on the floor for years, but this is too much. These loads are too massive.
And so, yeah, I don't know. You continue.
I mean, and then I just walked away. I was like, I think I'm going to shoot with Jason tomorrow. And you were like, okay. And I walked away. I went to wash the dishes or something. And then I come back and you're just like, no facial, no kissing. And I was like, okay, that was like the extent of the conversation.
Right.
And then I left the next day to do it. And you barely said bye to me because you're.
That's, I mean, you got to have standards, right? You know? He said, no facial, no kissing. Only I nut on that face. Only I kiss those lips. I believe that's another thing that he was commended for by the pimps. Just because you get that bag don't mean you need to lose that respect, Adam. You know, you got to keep it tight. Trevik says he made her eat a Tootsie Child heart like that scene in Game of Thrones before he'd give her the honor of breeding with him. Prophet says, imagine you let your wife fuck another dude and she chooses the fucking tyrant from Resident Evil, except black. All references available at louderwithcrowder.com.
You were playing poker.
I said bye. I mean, I'm playing 8 tables at the same time. I mean, it's kind of hard, but
and then
I'm so glad that I was doing something that is like requiring of the most cognitive load possible. So it made it kind of hard to think about it while it was happening. And
yeah, except he can't stop thinking about it. He just said cognitive load. Just rolls off the tongue. Just very a natural way to put it, you know? He couldn't have said, I needed things to keep my mind off of what was going on. There you go, buddy. There you go. You're not fooling anybody, ADAM22. You're not fooling anybody.
then by the time you got back home, I'm like basically like finishing up poker then. So I didn't really have a ton of room to think about it while it was occurring, which was nice.
It was the best place for you to be, for sure.
Because that is kind of my happy place that I don't get to do very often. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
I was so nervous, like beyond nervous. And I'm still, now I'm even nervous that it's going to come out because I'm like, I wonder if it showed in the scene. But I was there.
Yeah, that's what she's worried about. She's worried that she looks too nervous. She's nervous that he's gonna see this thing and he's gonna see her fucking eyes just go super wide. She's like a Dragon Ball Z character going Super Saiyan because she's coming so hard.
There for a couple hours getting hair and makeup or whatever, and then I had to go and get Jason and bring him in, and we had to take photos. And we just started taking pictures, and I was like, stop, like leave. I have to take pictures of myself. I cannot take pictures with you right now. There was like so much guilt even.
Jason Love must have been like, who is this fucking bitch? You know what? I actually have some footage. I have some footage from the climax of their scene together.
Hershey,
That's what ADAM22 was looking at. That's what he was looking at. That's what her soul was doing. Traveling says, imagine you let your wife fuck another man and she chooses John Coffee. Like the drink, only spelled different. That's a good one. That's a good one. He says, sorry, Dan, I had to steal one. That's a good one, yeah. I'm sorry, boss. Didn't mean to make her come so hard. Come here, I'll take the pain. Grabs his fucking dick. Let me take that shame away, boss.
Even though I knew that you had said yes, you'd given me your blessing. The cameraman's like, it's not cheating. He's just like trying to remind me. He's like being my, like, you know, I had no girls with me to like just cheer me on or anything. He was being my little.
Well, you said something about how your makeup artist or your hair person was like your therapist.
Oh yeah. They were being my therapist.
So you're like talking it through it with him, like, oh, I feel terrible. I'm about to fucking cheat on Adam.
Yeah, I was super nervous.
Yeah, he's like he's trying to act like this is something that brings him comfort, but he's like, let's get to the when you got your ass fucking destroyed. Can we just get back to that stuff, okay? I gotta tell Sharp's in the other room. That pimp Sharp, he's like in a closet jerking off right now. Prophet says, yeah, it's a huge thing that changes Adam in this bitch's life forever. And for Jason Love, it's like his third slut that morning. All references available at louderwithcrowder.com. He also says, for ADAM22, the day Jason Love graced his wife's pussy was the most important day of his life. For Jason Love, it was Tuesday morning. Whoa.
I don't know. I just felt really uncomfortable. I mean, I told you that, like, when we were in France last month, we went to the club and these guys were trying to dance with me, and I literally left the dance floor and I sat on the couch by myself because I felt so uncomfortable.
Right.
I didn't know what to do, and it felt like it was cheating. Like, even if I just bumped into a guy dancing, and here I am, I have to suck.
I have to look at her eyes. I had no choice. Adam, I had to. I got no choice. I had to make it happen, Adam. I wouldn't dance with those guys though, Adam. That'd be crossing the line. Traveling says ADAM22 needed John Coffey to breathe those fireflies in his mouth after to be able to come. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Sex with somebody, and it's gonna be filmed and put online.
Right.
So, yeah, it was a lot. It was really hard.
Hard.
He's like, so I need to get over myself. I needed to fucking just dig deep, girl boss. You're a fucking girl boss, okay? You gotta dig deep, bitch.
Yeah.
Better work, bitch.
The nerves. I don't know.
Oh, she's not in on the joke. It's like a penis pun. But okay, so you
He's like, yeah, Lena's kind of an idiot. She's kind of a dipshit.
You shoot the scene, and like, did you feel like you got out of the nervousness at a certain point, or like how did that transpire?
He fucking pulled out that fucking dick. He pulled out that dick, and it was over.
I was thinking about you.
That's Jason Loves Dick.
I don't know. I'm trying to think if I did get out of the nervousness at all. I kept like putting the scene off. I remember we were filming like intro teaser stuff, fully clothed, whatever, and then I just kept like, oh, I have to go do this. I'll be right back. Like, I just kept.
Sorry, Jason, hold on. Can you hold on a second? I gotta take a giant shit. I have to take a huge shit. Could you just hold on a second?
Putting it off.
Yeah.
And then in the moment when I had to finally do it, I don't know. I just hope it looks good. I feel like I blacked out at some point.
Ironically, you blacked out.
Shut the fuck up.
Black.com. But it's not on there. A lot of people seem to think that it's on black.com. Yeah.
Jason is blacked like star, so that's why he's like synonymous with blacked. But no, it's on our OnlyFans.
A lot.
He's like for a 6 month period, and then it's going to be on black.com.
A lot of people seem to think that you doing this was part of. Well, they think that you've cheated on me a lot over the years, probably, and that this was just kind of like more of that.
Cheated on me, you guys.
Okay, very early on. It's been a long time.
Okay, if I told you it was really early in the relationship, but yeah, I cheated on you a lot, you'd still be fucking pissed.
If you cheated on me in the first year of the
Listen, I don't know. She needs to watch some red pill guys, because some of these MGTOW guys, because he's a high value man. Men cheat.
Relationship, I wouldn't be that mad because but I would
Yes, you would.
I would be mad because you put yourself out there as like a non-cheater so much, where I was like, yeah, I cheated in 2017 or whatever, but I felt like I wasn't really doing a whole lot to like hide it.
Listen, we're not going to talk about the past. I'm going to get.
He's like, listen, I left the breadcrumbs detective plug. I wasn't trying to hide it. Drumley says, to me it reads like he pushed her into the scene when she wanted him desperately to show some spine and not let her. I think there might be some of that going on. It's all in the subtext. I mean, these people have no souls. They're too far gone. These are basically demons we're looking at right here. So it can be hard to tell, where their humanity's at, if there's any left.
Mad all
and
over
again. I feel bad. It was wrong.
You guys don't understand. I went to shoot this scene, and Adam has been low-key calling me a cheater as a joke. Or like the other day, I was like, "Can you help me with the laundry?" And he was like, "I'm having a really hard time. How dare you?" And I'm just like, "You're throwing this shit in my face, even though you're a part of it."
All right, so you see it.
All right, you get to see it. All right, we got one more. We have one more. The coup de grace.
Okay,
because this kind of surrounds their personal life, kind of some of the questions we've been positing, we've been asking ourselves. Lena says Adam wanted her to do porn instead of being a full-time mom. Yeah.
So the idea of you working with other men, this is something that we haven't really like wrapped our heads around. For me, it's kind of like, well, if you did it once, it's not that big a deal to do it with a bunch of other guys, but also it's kind of like,
At the same time, Adam, how many dicks do you want this chick to take? You're sick, buddy. You're sick. You got that bag and you can't let it go. They're like, well, we have separate accounts. Well, we split everything 50-50. That cash is in that house. That's Adam's money. That's Adam's money. Trump says, I always give the woman the benefit of the doubt since it's almost always the man that pushes his wife into a degenerate lifestyle. I think it seems like that would probably be more often than not the one that introduces it. I don't know the circumstances surrounding them even starting porn. I don't think she was a porn star before they got together. At least I could be wrong, but I don't think she was. And yeah, he talked her into letting him fuck other chicks in front of her. And she had the same journey where she had to she felt awful about it. She felt fucked up about it, but she had to let go of those feelings, those bigoted feelings. She said, get out of here.
why? Like at a certain point, like what kind of other stuff would you be doing with other guys if you were to do more scenes? Is it kind of like, I don't know.
Well, okay, so like when I first shot with you in the beginning, it's like, it's always new. It's the first time with this person, and then it's like you do boy, boy, girl, or, you know, whatever. There's like a lot of little things that you can do to make it different. And that's kind of like where I feel like I'm at now, because every new person I shoot with, it doesn't matter if I do any weird acrobatic tricks. It's just the fact that it's like a new other person.
Right. Which is kind of...
So this almost like becomes like a crossing the line. I mean, it's like they're speaking the truth out loud. You know, some porn stars will try to suggest like, oh, no, it's all business, all very professional. But she's like, no, dude, it's a new dick. That's a new dick, dog. Come on now. Of course it's exciting.
Weird for the fans, like that they care about it just being a different person. Like it's
of course they
like
care.
you're getting sluttier. Like, oh, you slept with 3 guys instead of 2.
Well,
That's
weird. Every person has like, I don't know. Remember when Phoenix Marie came on the pod? She was like, do you want me to flip you? I can flip you upside down. Like everyone has like their thing in porn, right? Like their own little trick. So everything.
Their signature move, you know? I like a girl who lets guys blast it in the back of their throat, and then she blows it out their nose, and they punch her in the face. That's her signature. She's a strawberry shortcake.
Every time you work with someone you like, you get their little trick.
Right. The trick.
I don't know.
That sounds
Everyone's
nice.
trying to like
That's a nice way of putting it.
brand themselves in the industry, you know?
Right. But that is one conversation that we had, is that you would want to limit yourself to working with like real deal, like trained professionals.
I would only want to work for people who have worked for the studios, because I feel like the studios is almost like what's the word I'm like?
The studios these days is a guy with a fucking DSLR cam and a flashlight. That is also a studio. How dare she? Prissy over here. Prissy and choosy, huh? What are you being choosy about? Like I said, my prediction, I give it, no more than 10 years. They're having sex with dogs for money. Drilling says, jump a year and ADAM22 is so proud of his new coffee-colored baby. Well, yeah, of course, he's going to raise it just as his own, because it's, you know what, when that happens, you know what he calls it? You know what he calls it? He calls it work product. That's work product, pal. That's his responsibility now.
Looking for reference, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a qualifier.
Yeah, a qualifier, because now all the girls do it. There's like a random girl from Texas makes an OnlyFans. Now she's an OnlyFans girl, and I feel less okay with a random guy from Texas just making an OnlyFans being like, shoot with me. It's like I want some sort of frame of reference for like why I should feel safe or comfortable or happy to shoot with you.
Oh, we need a serious frame of reference. Like we need like many, many years in the game, because I'm gonna be honest with you,
No, it's okay. It's cool, Adam. She really, you know what? She kind of only wants to film with Jason Love now. Listen, it's for professionals business.
that would kill me inside if I knew that you went and did a shoot and that the guy did anything that you found to be like really disrespectful or whatever. Like, I would have such a hard time with that. Like, I'm going to go to his house and shoot him in the face. It's
Okay,
going to like
so-
really be bad if someone were to like cross lines like
Yeah.
that. With Jason, I wasn't worried about that at all because I've been around him. I know that
Yeah.
he's like a very like gentle giant type guy. I've never heard a girl say that he was an abuser or anything
That
weird
was
like that.
a big reason why I wanted to like pick him. I just never heard a girl say anything weird or bad or anything about him. So it was like, which is kind of hard to find, unfortunately. But I think if I did shoot with other people, I would just take my assistant with me and be like, hey, you can't watch, but you got to be in that room.
Well, you think Monica's going to beat him up for me?
I don't know. I guess
Give her the gun.
I just feel safe. If
She's already like pre-planning the stuff. She's like, oh, I'll bring my assistant to make me feel safe because she's planning on it. She knows at some point she's going to start fucking sketch dudes. She's going to go through the top tier talent, the studio boys. She's going to blow through those dudes, but she's going to want that new dick. Like she was talking about, that new thing, that new move. What are their signatures? You know? Prophet says she only wants to shoot with Jason, go to the movies with Jason, dinner with Jason, texting with Jason, tropical vacation with Jason. Jason's moving in, dude. He's moving in. I mean, yeah, he's in the guest house, but he's never in the guest house. You know what I mean?
she was there.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems a little sketchy too, because you're a very polite person. Like if they cross a line or whatever, who knows? You might just end up rolling with it and then being mad about it afterwards, right?
No, I feel like I'm.
He's like, he's like, excuse me, all potential abusers out there. My wife is very weak-minded. She will not stand up for herself, and she will just let you do pretty much whatever. So, yeah, you just let him do whatever, wouldn't you?
I'm old enough and I'm able to stand my ground on things. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do the yeses and the nos, you know?
Oh, she's a big girl now. She's like 31. So she's sure. She knows who she is, guys. She's got an identity. You know what? One identity she doesn't feel comfortable with? Mother.
We'll cross the how many more people will Lena work with in the duration of her career. We'll cross that bridge at some
I have
point.
to get Adam's okay, and it's probably going to be after the scene comes out and he sees how it plays out.
We're going to have to do some review. I told her early on, I'm like, I just don't want to feel like indebted to have to like be on board with this like nonstop throughout the future.
Yeah. When we came home from the honeymoon, I was
She says, yeah.
And this is where the whole thing goes topsy-turvy.
She's like, yeah. You don't want to be indebted about it. Oh, man.
like, I think I'm ready to have another baby. And Adam was like, I don't think so. And then now Adam keeps asking me when I want to have another baby.
Well, because it is kind of like there's like a timer of sorts, because it's like
Adam22 is just like, listen, it's hard enough to avoid one. How the fuck am I going to avoid two?
if we want to have another kid or two, I mean, at a certain age, it's considered what, like a high risk elderly pregnancy or some shit if you're even like close to 40.
If you go by that number, then they already think I'm too old.
Right. Well, you need to freeze your eggs so we could potentially get a surrogate in case you decide that you want to do more black scenes for the next 10 years, right?
Oh, she's just like, maybe. Because, yeah, now he's already thrown it out there. Surrogate. He's thrown it out there. She's like, listen, this is business. I got to keep this together. Although they could probably make a lot of money on the fetish circuit, right? Get her pregnant, then bring Jason Love back. Trembling says, I have a backbone now. I won't let Jason prolapse me again like your grandmother says. Never again. Prophet says, honey, who ate the whole bag of smart food? And where's my weed? And why is there a copy of NBA Live 22 in the Xbox? Oh, yeah. Sorry, hun. Jason came by for lunch all day. Yikes. Telling you, Adam22, this is your future.
We'll just have to see.
Because that's what probably a lot of people like have a hard time wrapping their head around, is that was almost like the other option. It was like you were either going to like keep going with this shit and like your career and do some more spicy stuff, or you were just going to like go full mom mode. But why does that not appeal to you at this point in your life?
And he's just like, and I couldn't have that. I don't date no fucking moms, okay? I don't marry no fucking moms, okay? You think Sharp the pimp would be impressed by that? Fuck no. Not when I could be making my bag.
No life. Or does it?
I was fully ready to come home and be a stay-at-home mom. I just said that.
Right.
And then, you were not really down.
Oh, okay. I think you're kind of mischaracterizing that. I have gone through a pretty rock.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? You really want to be a mom? You want to be? She's just like, yeah, I was ready to retire. I was ready to be done. You know what? He asked for this shit. I'm glad it happened. Cuck or not, I'm glad it happened. I'm glad the beginning of the end, they could just be done with it. Let Lena the plug free. She wants to be. She wants to get out. Adam was like, oh, no. Listen, no. Never again.
Rocky year.
Yeah.
And
you
was
said
like,
you want to feel more stable in your life.
Right.
And somehow me having a baby makes you feel less stable, even though I'm going to do like 99% of the work.
I mean, it just felt like, oh, that's going to be like a lot to take on right now, just because having
not as much as that dick. It's going to be a lot to take on now, guys. Unless it's a big deal. Just like Jason Love. Now, what have you just swapped two giant things. Two giant life-changing events. You picked the wrong path, Adam.
Having one kid is just so fucking crazy, and I don't know. I'm just like a little nervous about the fact that like two kids is like so much more work than one kid, and it's not like 2 times as much work. No, it's like 3 or 4 times as much work. I feel like
it's hard.
Listen, it is. Yeah, being a parent's tough, dude. So he was just like, "Oh, that's gonna be a lot of work," but let my wife get plowed by BBC. Much easier. Except for all the inner turmoil I feel right now, and being an internet pariah. Prof says this dude is going to be Bruce Willis, and death becomes her inside of a year. Trembling says, "quote unquote, be a mom. I think you mean take BBC on camera. You better mean that, bitch." All references available at louderwithcrowder.com.
Hard. I mean, I want to be a mom, and I also want to work, and those things don't always mix well together because I need my body for my job.
Right.
If I didn't have the intention of having more kids, I would have gone like 10 plastic surgeries already. But I'm trying to balance everything.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of people seem to think that like I'm broke and that's the only possible reason that I could have been on board with this.
Okay, people need to get this straight because this has like no effect on Adam.
People got to get this straight, dude. Adam doesn't get a piece of this bag. Adam's a millionaire. That almost makes it worse. It might have been better if he was broke. All things being relative, it would be better. You could save face a little bit better. Rather than like, no, dude, I'm a millionaire. I'm perfectly comfortable. I have everything I could ever want. I have passive income from my investments. I just wanted her to do it for the love of the game. The love of the game. Trembling says, this Jezebel is Armenian? Is she Armenian? She might be. That could be. That's serendipity. That's like a gift. That's a gift from God. That's a gift from the streamer gods.
Some come except for like whatever views you've been getting off the podcast. This is all my money. We split everything, and we do have a prenuptial agreement, which people keep bringing up. I hope you got a prenup. We're both very financially conscious. We're both good business people, and we're not broke. I don't know what else to say except to say that we're not broke. We don't have to work.
Lena is the kind of person who I don't want to say dollar amounts, but like the amount of money that you make right now is by any objective measure a lot of money. And that's just not good enough for you. You want to go for the gold. You want to shoot for the stars. Because
I don't know how long this career will last. And I'm already doing it. I've already put my name in the mud.
Listen, she wants to get it out of her system. I put my name in the mud. I became a porn star. Might as well see where the rainbow ends. Well, Lena the plug, I don't know. It seems like it never ends in a good place. Never ends in a good place. Trembling says, I wanted to think they were based, but just like the Arabs, they always prove you wrong. Arabs with France and Armenians with this whore, and Anna all her life.
Might as well ride it till the wheels fall off, and just.
No, I agree, and especially
And you said that to me too.
I agree.
You're
Yeah.
like, if you're still doing if he said if you're still making 10% of what you make now at 40, wouldn't you keep doing it?
Right.
Because that would be still a really good amount of money.
It would just
It would be all about how I actually felt about it. If I was like, fuck, I hate this. I'm so over this. I look awful.
So if he's thinking at 40, if she was only making 10% of what she's pulling down now, she's got to be at least pulling in anywhere from 20 or 200 to $400,000 a month. It's got to be up there. It's got to be up there. Prophet says ends in a limo with ADAM22 in a tuxedo, and the guy they get to fuck her recognizes her from high school. All references available at louderwithcrowder.com. Yeah, ADAM22 in a tux. Yeah, with his little microphone, that skinny mic. Really nice stuff.
Full in all my scenes. I look dead inside. No, I definitely shouldn't be doing it anymore.
Right. But I mean, 10% of what you've been making for the last couple of years would still be like a shitload of money for the average person, which, you could easily live off of and stuff like that. But we also have financial goals.
He's like, basically, he's just letting her know. He's like, we're not going to be together when you're 40. So you may want to think of these things. Kids or no, you might want to think about this stuff.
We've talked about buying a beach house at length. And I kind of feel like this whole Jason Love arc has been, we're getting to the beach house category.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell you every time I leave for a scene with another man. Don't forget that beach house, babe. That house in Malibu. I'm gonna buy it for us. Let me just go get double teamed right quick. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, gotta make that bag. Gotta get that beach house. We're headed to beach house territory. Oh, it's not my money. No, we split everything. Oh, of course you do. Of course you do. Prophet says in Jason Love jerking off for a dude in his pickup truck in a Safeway parking lot when a bunch of good old boys show up to kick his ass because he can't get hard. Oh, man. It's such a sad end. Troubling things, I think ADAM22 will also get gay bashed after jerking off for a guy in a pickup, so he's playing dual roles like in an Eddie Murphy comedy. Damn it. Dan beat me to it.
That is not a thing. Yeah, if you're getting double teamed, then at least one of them is going to be sexual vanilla over here. Okay.
Will you film for us?
No. Put the fucking little kelpie your ass if you keep that going.
All right, so you see it.
He's like, I'm gonna get my boys out here. They're gonna take you out. Keep talking this nonsense. My goodness. I don't know. Is there any more? I kind of hope there's not. Because I feel like we just listened to the whole podcast. Oh, my God. This was a long podcast. Lena tells Adam she wants him to jerk off to her BBC scene. What time is it? All right, we're going to do one more. Jason Love calls in during Lena's no jumper interview. God damn. The spice is available. Lena on going back to Adam's dick after sleeping with Jason Love. We may never talk about Anna Kasparian at all. We might not get there. Hapgood says, I'd like to think Adam will shoot himself in the head after saying there's an ass in my wife's cock. Had to run it into the ground. Yeah, that would be the way he goes, the William H. Macy way, the Bill Macy way. Ironically, he wanted his wife to sleep with William H. Macy. Okay. Oh, fuck it. Let's roll.
I low-key feel
Let's roll. We've started. We'll finish it. The Anna stuff is not that interesting.
like you're less mad because it's viral and you're like into being viral.
I will say that having seen how viral it went, it now seems kind of insane that I ever would have like potentially stood in the way of you doing this, just because this is obviously such an amazing thing for your career as well as mine. Like, we're not going to state dollar amounts, but even just like the money that I've made off of talking about this on YouTube and Snapchat has been kind of ridiculous. And then like
you're welcome.
Plug talk has been, that's a very weird framing, but
well, it is the framing. It's what you're saying. You're saying that she went out and did a thing. You talked about it. You kind of broke, he kind of broke the story. He's the one that made it such a big thing. I'm sure, like, her OnlyFans and her Twitter following, I think it's like maybe 100,000 or something. I'm sure it wouldn't have the reach. It wouldn't have as much of a reach. So he should be thankful. He's getting that bag. Trembling says, I like to think ADAM22 will get caught with something in his house and tell that Sharp the pimp, that they're so small, but he doesn't touch them. Oh, shit. Getting dark now.
The amount of additional signups that we've gotten on onlyplugtalk.com has been kind of insane.
Yeah.
Just seeing like how crazy this has been. And
It's gonna
also
be a
like
big
it's
month.
a weird thing where like at a certain point in my life, you're scared of like people shitting on you, or you want to avoid people shitting on you. And then at a point like right now, it's like, oh, I'm just getting so destroyed by people making fun of me that it's like, you just got to roll with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like in my first or second year as an online person, shit bothered me a lot more. None of the comments about this have bothered me. People calling me a terrible person, terrible wife, whatever.
Right.
I don't take any of it, like even 1% of it seriously.
Well, there are definitely lines of things that people say that I don't like, though. When they bring your motherhood into it, that's one thing I don't like, because you are an amazing mother.
I mean, I feel like it doesn't bother me at all because I just like, I know it 100% does not affect how I am as a mother. And like, if you think that my kid is going to grow up and not judge daddy for all the things he did, but is going to judge mommy, like, I'm not going to raise that kind of kid. He's going to believe in that double standard.
I noticed like,
No, their kids are going to be very sexually liberated. They're going to be very open. They would never pass judgment. They would never think. Their kids are going to be they're going to become Muslims by the time they're 17. I mean, that's the only way to rebel against shit like this. You know, you got to go full on ginger jihadi. You know, he's going to be like a vanilla jihadi. You got to do it. What else are you going to do? How else are you going to fight back against your parents if you're raised around like gangsters and porn culture?
every conversation I have about it with people is like, they lay it out. They say, are you jealous? Are you mad? Whatever. We have that conversation. And then they basically like kind of hit a wall because it's like, oh, you're two consenting adults and you decided to do something kind of freaky. And in our case, on camera. Mm-hmm. So then they start doing the kid thing because there's like nowhere else to go with it because you can't blame me.
Then they start doing the kid thing. That's some sort of Freudian slip there, buddy. Maybe Trembling is onto something.
Or you for doing something that we want to do, or you doing whatever you want to do on camera. It's like, how can you be mad?
It, so it's like we're supposed to stop now?
Right.
I mean, we already did. It's already out there.
Yeah, exactly. Because and that's another thing is I noticed
they've already tarnished their reputations. They've already shown everybody they're assholes. Like, it's out there. I mean, you might as well just keep doing it.
Ton of dudes speak about it and talk about it as if this was happening to them, but their wives or girlfriends are not porn stars, and they're not like, you know, if my girl had never been naked online, if we had never shared all these other girls or whatever, then would I find it like so shocking that I wouldn't even be able to imagine it? Yeah, probably. But like the same way that you've gotten kind of like numb to seeing me fuck other girls, at a certain point, it just started to feel like it wasn't that big a deal. Now, obviously, it was a deal. It was definitely something because, like, especially like maybe like the day after, I had a little bit of buyer's remorse where I was just like a little bit like sick to my stomach. Of
it was
just
a
like,
lot of this. I didn't know what mood I was going to get you in for a few days there.
Yeah.
That's why she offered to bring him home some fried chicken, which, you know, she didn't realize, you know, what it was going to remind him of.
And I mean, even when I was telling Destiny and Crit Mac, which was like about the weirdest audience I could have possibly had for it, when I told you I was going to talk about it with them, you're just like, are you serious? Like,
I was like, why are you going to, I had not planned on like talking about the scene until closer to the time it was going to come out. And then you were like, it was like, you needed therapy. You're like, I'm going to go into the office and I'm going to talk to Crit Mac and Destiny about it.
No, yeah. At a certain point, I was just like, listen, if I have to talk about it, I'm just going to talk about it on the podcast. I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm not going to act like it's not happening. I'm just going to talk about it. And Destiny is probably like one of the best people I could have the conversation with. Crit Mac, maybe not so.
No, see, like most of like the black dudes, even the gangsters, they were like, no, dude, I couldn't do that. They kind of like, they would like let the shit with the girl stuff slide. They're like, well, you know, she eats pussy every once in a while. Who cares? But when they heard that, they're like, nah, man, is it a black guy? You're not going to let her fuck a black guy. But the true degenerates, the sex traffickers, those are the ones. The sex traffickers and the shrimpy white dude. They were the ones that were like, yeah, dude, no, man, this is just the way it is now. It's very progressive of you. It's very open. I mean, you got to be equitable, dude. I mean, you think about Think about what you've put her through, dude. You know what I mean? Think about it, dude. I mean, it's only fair. Say it's not so bad. You get over it, dude.
So much. Like, his first thing he said was, "Oh, I know you was mad, huh?" So it's like immediately he's kind of like writing the narrative for me.
I mean, I feel like there was times where you got mad at me, but I feel like it's part of it is like we were learning each other's boundaries.
Yeah.
I came home and maybe was a little too honest with you, but you were like asking me a lot of questions.
Right.
And I didn't know how to not answer your questions.
Right.
So yeah.
And now that I've seen bits and pieces of the video as well, that's what's kind of weird too, is realizing like
he's like, that's what's kind of weird too, guys, because I'm jerking off to these things. I can't watch the whole thing, but man, those little 20-second clips, let me tell you what, dude, I don't need to watch the whole thing. I'm good. I'm already done. I'm done by second 17.
The whole world seems to have decided that being a cuck is a bad thing, or like that your girl getting fucked by someone else is a bad thing.
Yeah, society is they've just arbitrarily decided this thing. It has nothing to do with stability. It's underguarded our ability to progress as a species. Nothing weird, nothing like that. Nothing. It's a good thing we go back to just completely deconstructing everything that we've built over hundreds and hundreds of years. Yeah, I mean, just fuck that shit. All that knowledge, all that wisdom, all that trial and error. It's just, that's for fucking losers, dude. That's for nerds. What are you, a fucking historian, buddy? Get out of here. Traveling says, quote unquote, before the sun, Satan assures us it is of no consequence. After he persuades us, it is unforgivable.
I don't know. I was not horrified by it. I'm not like upset by it. I'm not going to say that this is going to be something that I'm going to be fucking pounding my dick to, but
I hope you watch the scene and I hope you jerk off.
See, you said that last night, is that you are really turned on by the idea of me seeing it and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, of being a cock. Not only is maybe Adam is the victim here, Maybe this has been some circular logic here. She's like got him. She's got him all twisted up. She's trying to get him to be a cuck. She senses it. She probably senses it inside of him. And she just wants him to, she's doing him a favor. It's like I said on Friday. It's a wedding gift. It's a wedding gift. Before the sin, Satan assures us it is of no consequence. After he persuades us, it is unforgivable.
Where does that come from? I didn't know that was going to be one of the effects of this.
I don't know, because I know that you think it's hot. We've had more sex since I fucked Jason than we usually have in like a month.
I got an abrasion on my dick from fucking too much.
Every time we talk about it, you get a boner, and then we have sex.
I know. And
I feel like you're
well, that's this primacy. That's the primal nature coming through. He has to establish dominance. He has to reestablish dominance. Otherwise, he feels like a pussy. He feels like a piece of shit. That's the only way he can cope with it now.
trying to assert your dominance over the fact that I had sex with somebody else, but it's still like part of it turns you on. Like, oh, she fucked someone else. This is hot.
There's something about it where...
No, it's not. I don't think it has anything to do with being turned on at all. He's not like turned on for those reasons. It's his body's reaction. It's like a trauma response. His body's like, get hard, and get it fucking done now. Otherwise, you're a fucking faggot. Listen to me, Adam. He's just talking to his dick in the mirror. His dick's talking to him. You know, it's like the pee hole's flapping. Listen, buddy. This is happening. You got to do this. You got to make this right. Otherwise, we're going to end up in a fucking insane asylum. Trembling says that's their attitude. We've already been degenerates. Might as well go further. Not like we can stop or anything. Yeah, that's kind of the argument that at least she was making. She's like, well, it's already out there. We've already done these things. I mean, what am I supposed to do? But he's the one. He didn't. This is all because ADAM22 denied her another child. Hell hath no fury, boys.
When you know your girl is not fucking anybody else, which at this point, and after 7 years, I feel quite confident that you're not going to run off and cheat on me. It creates like a little bit of competition in your mind, even not knowing necessarily like how much you enjoyed it or how great it was or whatever. It's still kind of like, oh, like that competition thing. That's like a real biological thing. Like, I want to beat it up.
I told Adam that he can have anal the day the scene comes out.
Yeah, well, we were already talking about scheduling the anal, right?
Yeah, I know.
It's
But
not
I'm like,
Yeah, scheduling it. Scheduling it was a business thing.
Purely for
you
that,
get it
right?
on this day specifically.
Well, I think that is good because
A good consolation prize.
Because I mean,
Yeah, he gets anal, but it has to be playing. Like, I'm sure they have a giant, like, 90, 120 inch OLED 8K TV. It's going to be up there. It's going to be up there on the wall. She's like, sure, you can fuck my butt. Trelling says, it's not like their stuff is behind a paywall, so it can all be deleted or anything. Oh, wait, it's exactly like that. Yeah, exactly. They could, well, to one degree or another, they could get rid of at least some of it. At least some of it if they wanted to move on with their lives, but they don't. Or at least Adam doesn't. She said that she was willing to, but now he's getting it. Now she's reinvigorated. She's really doubling down on the business side of things. These are business decisions. Okay, he's a very big, cool guy, business stuff. Cool lady business stuff. Girl boss shit, okay?
Even
For all the memes everyone's going to make about
even
it.
before you did it, though, I told you, I'm like, listen, right after you do this, around that time period, I'm like, I need you to be very loving with me. We need to be having sex. Like, we can't, like this just can't be, like, a time period.
Yeah, he's got to, like, they got to go out to Benihana's. It's like, you need to take me out on your dime that you earned by taking Jason Love's massive cock. You need to take me to a fucking Benihana's. You know I love that shit. I know it's corny, but you need to treat me right.
Period where you're like, no, I'm not really in the mood.
Oh yeah, you told me I could never come home from fucking someone else, no matter how broken or destroyed I might be. I have to fuck you too. And
I like you're making it sound kind of like weird there, but
no, but like, I mean, I get it.
He's just like, he'd never heard it out loud. He's like, well, you're making me seem like I'm a maniac, like I'm jealous. Don't worry, I'll beat those feelings down. They'll go away. I will feel nothing within the year.
Why deny you for someone else?
I need to have my ego satiated in that moment, especially given that, like, I just didn't know how I was going to feel about it. And as you saw, it took me a couple of days to, like, wrap my head around it.
Yeah. Do you feel like every day it's less of a big deal to you?
Yeah, at this point, I really don't care at all.
Mm-hmm.
Although everybody reacting to the tape, that may be...
Oh, I'm nervous.
That may be like a test of my mental resolve. But also, like, I'm at the point now where I haven't even been looking at my Twitter mentions because it's just so much that I just, like, I can't. Like, yesterday I posted a picture of Bradley Martin holding you and me going, like that. It was like a joke thing from, like, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And that got 30,000 likes and, like, 8 million views on the tweet or whatever.
People like you as a fake cuck.
I don't know.
A fake cuck? Come on now. Trumping says him sounding exactly like that Jack Murphy cuck. Yeah, a little bit. They're all like that though. Whatever, dude. We just have we just have kinky sex. It's not a big deal. We just do kinky stuff. She gets fucked by dudes on Tinder and then I bring her home and I pee on her in the hallway.
If they like it so much as they're like observing it and they're kind of fascinated by it.
I was looking embarrassed when you posted that picture. I was like, don't bring poor Bradley into this.
But you can really see it in your face that you're like, like you were so uncomfortable with even like being in his arms in that photo.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty funny.
All right, so you see it. We just hit 500K. You know what that means?
Train continues. I gotta see this through now. I'm like too far. I've come too far. No pun intended. Hey, calm down. Lena on going back to Adam's dick after sleeping with Jason Love. I gotta see it because I like the body language is very weird.
When I see the full thing, or like, however much of it I end up seeing, I'm probably going to enjoy seeing it. And it makes me think about like my best frame of reference, because I have not spent almost any time in my life learning about like how polyamorous people work or anything like that. But when I was
See, that's the thing. That's why he hangs out with like Destiny now, so he can get educated. So he can educate himself. Crunk says, that guy looks like what I imagine cancer looks like in a caricature.
The AVN Awards back in January, there was a couple of different dudes who came up to me with their wives or girlfriends and said, hey, if you ever have time or you're ever down, I would love for you to fuck my wife. Mm-hmm. And I'm just kind of like, okay, like that's wild. Like, I didn't even take it serious or anything like that.
Oh, so you think so? The porn industry is full of unhealthy, weird relationships? Are you kidding me? Seriously? It's like I didn't know, man. I'm not educated.
But I understand what those guys are thinking. They have watched me in porn or whatever. They've watched you in porn, and they would love to like just see their girl inserted into that environment. Mm-hmm. And just seeing you like looking like a glamorous porn star on camera with a very well-known professional. It's not the worst thing in the world to me. I'm not super mad about it. And then I feel like it's kind of allowed me to even just embrace the fact that, like, yeah, in prior situations, even with you, I've fucked girls with one of my friends, and that was okay. But because it's a girl who I don't have a real relationship with, but now
it's like I can separate when you're just a piece of meat to me, then I'm okay with abusing you. Fucking shit up. Trembling says, lately I've been watching some of the Ghost Girl Mary Morgan stuff. Her destroying those OnlyFans whores on Fresh and Fit was pretty funny. I don't think I saw that one. The only one I've ever seen her on is on the Whatever podcast, and I know she's involved with Tim Pool stuff, like the Timcast website, or in their show they have like Pop Culture Crisis or something. I think she's on there. Crunk says, when your tattoos blend to brown or black. Yikes. Trembling says, even her name sounds like the legend of the prom queen ghost you give a ride to who disappears. Yeah, because you got that. Your dad got you that old Cadillac, you know? Thought it'd be a cool gift. He didn't know it was haunted, though.
I'm kind of like, well, why the fuck do I care? Especially as a porn person. You know, it's like, why would it be such a big deal? If I enjoy it with a girl that I don't give a fuck about, what is the point of me not doing that with the girl that I'm married to? It's not like an inherently degrading or disrespectful thing, right?
I mean, as long as you're consent.
She's like, yeah, listen, as long as you're into it, man. Yeah, you could. I'm down for a spit rate. I mean, if this is what you want, Adam. If this is what you want.
Thing. I mean, and you're turned on by it, and the girl's turned on by it clearly. So it's like.
Well, clearly you're turned on.
Yeah, I'm talking about myself as
you're
a girl
not
in this
shying
situation.
away from this whole double team thing that I'm proposing here, are you?
No, not at all. I actually have some pictures of positions I'd like to try with you on my phone.
See, that's one thing that I was thinking when we started talking about it. Is like,
maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just an old prude or something. But Jesus Christ, like the sex on the brain thing, like to the degree that it is on their brain. Because they're not just talking about, they're not even just discussing like, well, this is what we do for a living, etc. No, it seeps into every aspect of their life to the point where she's been thinking about, fantasizing, planning on getting the double stuff. I even have pictures on my phone. Here you go. Trembling says it was the Whatever podcast I meant. Fresh and Fit is the two black guys. She might have been on Fresh and Fit too, though. I don't know.
Okay, if we're going to do this double team scene, what are the positions? Because I need to make sure that this dude's dangler ain't like too close to my face or anything.
Well, I don't think we should do it the first time, but I would like to be DP'd by you and someone else.
So the butt and the vagina.
Yeah.
Well, I see. Okay.
Deal breaker. She only gives him anal on very special occasions. Well, I guess this would be a special occasion. Man.
Right there, boom, jealousy triggered because we haven't had anal in like a year.
Okay.
And you're going to say, oh, it's because last time we tried to do an anal scene, you came in like 4 minutes.
So, okay.
You're like, well, actually.
And everybody was embarrassed. The camera guy was like, what the fuck is going on? Crunk says she has, I'm doing this for us, written all over her face.
I wasn't going to say that.
Well, you could be the guy in my butt. Would you still be jealous?
I just don't really love the idea of my balls clapping against another dude's balls.
I think you'll get so into it you'll forget and you won't care.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I mean, it's definitely not.
I mean, that's what Jason Love said. He said, yeah, man, you get over it.
Totally off limits in my mind, but
I'm not saying it's the first thing I want to do, but we've had so many girls on Plug Talk where you're like, what's your favorite thing? And they're like, DP. You think anal feels good? You think vaginal feels good? Wait till you try them together.
But you have a sensitive butthole. That's why we haven't been engaging with it so much, right? Like, I don't know.
No, apparently not, dude. Apparently you're wrong. She's like, well,
I hate prep for anal. That's literally all it is. I like anal. I hate preparing for anal.
Because you have to eat gummy bears for a whole day before.
Oh, man, boy, do we have a YouTube channel for her. Prophet shared in the private chat. You can watch it on youtube.com. Monetized. It is behind it's not not meant for kids, like sensitive material or something like that. But you can watch a guy nair his own asshole. Straight up, asshole just directly into camera, covered in nair. Teaching you, because of course you wouldn't know how to use nair if not for his instructions. And also douching himself and stuff. That's all on YouTube because it's educational. So just for educational purposes. So that's who she's got to hook up with, that guy. He could probably give her some pointers. I was wondering, I was like, who are these videos for? Now I know. It's for Lena the Plug. Trummick says, yeah, laugh out loud. I'm having your dicks rubbed together through the walls of my ass and twat for you, baby. Crunk says, so Sean, is there a point where you're serving as an advertisement for this? I mean, if you guys are, I mean, I don't think I have an audience to really feel ethically weird about it. But no. I mean, you're a free person. You can do what you want. Prof says, quote unquote, I just don't want my balls touching some other dude's balls. 6 months later, Jason Love is stabbing his kidneys from the inside.
You have to starve yourself. You have to clean out your butthole.
Right.
You know, it's a whole thing. And then every time for some reason I get a cut or I bleed no matter what. And then I have a problem for a week after. But it's just part of doing it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly horrified by the idea, but that's also one thing that I've realized is that even if I really didn't like the idea of you fucking another dude on camera, I mean, being in the porn business, it would just be insane for me to say no to it at this point.
Why? Why would it be insane to have standards? It's like, well, everybody else does it. Crunk says, this shit turns my guts inside out. It's modern debauchery at its finest. It really is. And it's some of the most popular shit out there. Like, just these conversations. These guys, like, I only found out about No Jumper, like, last year. But this is, like, it's a podcast that's built around building up the dregs of society. It's so fucking bizarre. It's not bizarre. I'm sorry. That's the wrong way to put it. It's not bizarre. I understand why people are attracted to watching it, whether it's ironically or not, or, we're watching it. Like, I understand the human impulse to hear people talk about doing things that, like, you wouldn't do or whatever. But, yeah. Treving says, Jason Love really making soup of his insides. Yikes!
Or at least there's one scene, like doing more is kind of its own separate conversation. But, the financial rewards have been so absurd that it's kind of like.
Crunk says it's the normalization of detrimental behavior. I agree. I think this stuff is really corrosive and bad. That's like why, because, the demographics of people that watch stuff on YouTube are not, like, most of the time, are not people our age. A lot of their audiences are very young people. Like that guy Destiny with his his open relationship. It's not polyamorous. I wouldn't want to besmirch him. But yeah, and he's completely, like, normalizing the idea of having, like, a normal functional relationship. And that's probably going to end badly for a lot of people. Maybe because these people are narcissists. They're a little extra. They're a little different. They can rationalize it. Maybe they can deal with it. But that's not the story. That's not going to be the tale of the average person that decides to be, like, cool and hip and open and modern and progressive. It's going to lead to a lot of pain, a lot of suffering. Then think about the children. Think about the children, please. These people, like, normal people, they're fucking retarded. They don't take precautions. They're having kids. It ends up being a giant nightmare.
Like, well, we're in business together. Like, you gotta
yeah, and I mean, at some point, it's like my fans were just kind of like, your content's getting dry at this point. Like, you haven't done anything new. Yeah. And so for me, yes, it was exciting financially, and it was exciting to have a new sexual experience, but it's also like, I'm kind of excited for work just because there's, like, new things I could do for my fans.
It's a grassroots campaign. It's kind of like that movie, Sound of Freedom. It's a grassroots campaign.
To keep them interested.
People, this woman is obsessed with her OnlyFans analytics. No. So she is more turned on by seeing the numbers go up than anything else, probably.
I am turned on that there is, like, many, many, many thousands of people out there who are waiting for July 3rd.
I think Trembling brings up a good point. On a long enough timeline, all this all of this is for the best because the consequences will be clear if society survives, that is. Yeah, I agree, because I think you're already starting to see it, because that's why, like, they have, like, Gen Z it's like the first generation to start kind of leaning back towards the right, because it's the only way to be rebellious. It's the only way to be different. And I think they see the wreckage. I mean, we're seeing the wreckage of the sexual revolution all around us. especially in people's lives, like people growing up with divorced parents, etc. And it doesn't lead to happy outcomes. Crunk says, if my wife ever said, my fans.
13th to sit down and download or watch this video or whatever and jerk off to it. That is hot to me.
Just thinking about the legions of gooners who are just
Yes.
Yeah, she's thinking about the coomers. She does it for the coomers, dude. She loves her fans, okay?
sit up waiting for
They can jerk off to anyone. They could find a Lena the Plug lookalike and jerk off to her. No, they want to jerk off to me and my weird vagina.
Weird?
I don't know.
How dare you?
Your fans love to say it's weird.
I think it's nice.
I mean, you better think it's nice. It's yours. It's yours. You bought it.
It's a good looking vagina.
Well, yeah, it's yours. It's kind of yours. It's kind of yours. Now, this Jason loves.
Buy it. It came that way. Okay. So what else do they want to know? People probably want to know, what is it hard to go back to a, reasonably sized white penis after dealing with a
Yeah, because listen, once you go black, dude, it's a saying for a reason, Adam.
Baby arm. Is it upsetting?
No.
Is it hard to go back to regular life?
So first of all, I wouldn't say that yours is regular. I would say yours is definitely like above average. So let's give you that. Yes. Every time we take your pants off on Plug Talk,
he takes, he needs a win. Any win he can get, he'll take it right now.
The girl's like, oh, I'm surprised.
But for a white guy. They don't say that.
Podcaster.
They don't say that, but they're thinking that.
Maybe. I don't know. Someone called you good boyfriend dick once. And I feel like that was a good compliment because nobody wants like an
good boyfriend dick. Yeah, it was like a compliment. I don't know. Crunk says the myth. Yes, it is mostly a myth.
Outrageously large people.
Well, just because it comes from the saying, the stereotype comes from pornography. It's not exactly like they're hiring people with small dicks unless of course it's a very special video. It's a very niche thing.
All the time.
Right.
It wasn't hard to come back to your dick. I was in a lot of pain for a few days. So having sex was, It
was reupholstered.
You were a little traumatized by me being like, ouch, hold on.
At first, yeah. But that did go away pretty quickly.
It took like 3 or 4 days, yeah.
Oh my God. 3 or 4 days to recover from getting fucked. He's like, yeah. Why do this? Why are they doing this?
You feel like it's snapped back? Well, you never had the natural birth that you were planning on.
I don't believe that a vagina stretches from having sex once for 40 minutes with a bigger dick.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I look at the buttholes of the girls that we work with that I know have had like dread or whoever in their asshole, and I'm like, those dicks are doing damage.
Okay, but the asshole's not meant to stretch like this big. The vagina is meant to stretch and go back.
You should see some of the shits I've taken over the years.
No, I don't want to.
Like a straight jack-o'-lantern hitting the toilet water.
All right, so you see it.
Just keeping it light. He likes to keep it light, Okay, so this is for real the last one. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing, but they talked to him. They brought the bull on. Is he going to be just a nice guy? Is he just a nice guy bull? He's like, yo, Adam, we should go out for drinks. Maybe get some burritos or something. I want to show you what her pussy looked like. Rones Rydar just followed. Thank you for the follow.
Oh, I'm getting a call. Oh, okay. I'm going to take this. Oh, hello.
Look who it is.
Mr. Jason Love. How you doing, man?
It was good.
We're just doing a little podcast here and figured that we would, have a little conversation with you to see exactly how all this was for you as well.
He's like, it was like Prophet said, it was fucking Tuesday, bro. How has it been for you? Oh my God. Trembling says ADAM22 preps him on screen. Yeah, he fluffs him up a little bit.
Cool. That's why I chimed in. Catch y'all. See what's up.
Definitely. So what's the vibe like between you guys? Anything I should know about?
I don't think there's a really vibe. I think it's like a business thing, but I feel just very uncomfortable with this right now. I feel awkward.
A little uncomfortable.
Can you tell him how nervous I was?
Bro, so nervous. Oh my God. I feel so wrong right now. Like,
it was bad.
It's just work.
Okay. But a lot of people have like a cheating fetish. Like, I'm not gonna...
Don't worry, Adam. He coached her through it. He calmed her down. He rubbed her back. He kissed her forehead. I'm gonna take care of you, girl.
gonna lie, like
I feel like you do.
yeah, cheating I've done in the past was I'm a little bit turned on by the fact that I was doing something underhand, or take myself out of it. But like, if you're fucking a girl and you know she has a boyfriend and she's doing something wrong, that is kind of hot.
Is it?
A little bit.
See, he knows.
It's kind of like the adrenaline. Like
I'd feel so guilty if I was the other woman.
Okay, so Jason, give me a genuine review. How was it?
You want like a number scale or just like
Numbers sounds like it could be hurtful, but if it's a high number, sure.
Gives me like a 4.
100%, 9 out of 10.
Really, 9 out of 10. Who's a 10?
Well, obviously her.
Oh.
Well, it was a 9 out of 10. I never grasped an entire 10 before. It's like you gotta leave room for something that could possibly be.
See, Jason Love, he's an honest guy. He's like, listen, man. There is no 10. That's the ideal. We're always looking for the 10, bro. Don't be nervous. Traveling says, quote unquote, that bitch's pussy was run of the mill, bruh. She couldn't even take it to the balls. I almost hit her.
Top the next one.
Okay, yeah.
I'll take a 9 then.
That's fair. Okay, yeah. So a lot of people want to know, I don't know, just like if I should feel diminished as a man as a result of this. Like the cuck narrative is very, very strong. I just want to get your thoughts on that and if how people should think about that.
I hope he looks him dead in the face and says, yeah, dude, you're a fucking cuck now. How's it feel, brother? I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Crunk says, you got mayonnaise, boy.
In the context of me being, the silent third party in all this.
Well, I don't know. Like if you look at it in a business aspect, then basically it was just a job, She's high up in her ranks. I'm high up in my ranks. Us two together obviously would make the most amounts of money. So it's not so much being a cook. If you're comfortable with it, y'all communicated it prior. Obviously, she said y'all did. So it's not really a cook situation. It's more of like two people coming and making an understanding.
Yeah, but it's a cuck situation if he feels a certain way about it, and then like kind of is creeping along, like watching the video slowly, like kind of savoring it almost. Then I think you might be turning into a cuck. Now, Jason Love, I thought you were an honest guy. I thought you were an honest actor. What's going on, man? Traveling says ADAM22 desperately wants this guy to humiliate him. Oh yeah, he wants him to fuck his wife so she can't walk for 4 days, and then he wants to get peed on. All references available at ladderwithcrowder.com.
Yeah.
So if you're cool with it, then it is what it is. Me personally, I don't know if I have enough in me to allow it, but everyone's different.
Oh my God! See, this is the reality. It's like me. No, I could never do that. But you, Adam, man, you a cool guy. You're a unique guy, Adam.
Everyone have different levels of how do I say mental maturity.
Well, it would be kind of weird for you to find a dude bigger than you. Maybe they could resurrect Andre the Giant or something. Maybe you could get Brock Lesnar to come through and cut it up for you. But I mean, you're kind of like the biggest dude that I could think of. I don't know. It's going to be tough for you to find a bigger guy.
Oh, they got a couple.
Yeah.
But, it's not just the size, it's everything that goes into it that makes it,
Definitely. Lena is just like shriveling up into a ball right now. I can see how uncomfortable this is making you.
Yes, it is making me very uncomfortable. And I'm glad that he's only, on Zoom and not here right now.
Do you think that would be awkward?
Yes. Also, I feel like
What is he? Just a piece of meat to you? How could you treat this? Is borderline racism. She'd be afraid. Is she Anna Kasparian? She'd be afraid. Afraid if he was in the room with her.
feel a lot of sexual tension, and I felt like we would have to do a scene if you guys were
God.
both here.
See, she's out of control now. She's on a tear.
I've been known to have that effect. I apologize.
See, all right. Now I'm going to have to really mind you next time you're going to an adult event that he's going to be at, right?
No, but I would be turned on if you were there.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like you're part of it.
So you think that if me and you go out to a party and we see him, that there's a chance that we'd all end up hooking up after?
I don't know what his stance is on working with you.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Good point, yeah.
No, Adam didn't say that. He said hooking up. He didn't say go shoot a scene. So he's already, he's in there. He's putting it out there. Yo, Jason, how would you think about that? How would you think if me and you fucked my wife together?
I don't care.
Oh, hell yeah.
I get it in regardless.
Damn, that would be, yeah, I could.
I get it in regardless.
Can you imagine somebody so calm, so balanced, as though they had done this 50 times, 100 times, 500 times? How many times?
How many times?
See, that would probably kind of make me feel like I had put a cap on this whole situation if we all did it together.
Good closer.
Wow, maybe that is the three-way that we should do, because that would be pretty viral rather than just some random guy, right?
Yeah.
It would be crazy.
As long as I'm not
Plotting.
sitting in a chair with my fucking
You have
arms
to for
tied
one-
behind my
for one
back or
shot.
whatever.
You gotta hold the camera for one shot.
He's like, listen, man, everybody's different, man. You know, we'll figure it out on the day, though.
All right, so now I got to rewrite the script.
Yeah. What do people need to know about Jason Love, since like you're kind of, I almost feel like a large percentage, maybe even the majority of the photos that you're going to be taking over the next year or so, it's going to be people saying like, you're the dude who fucked ADAM22's wife. I don't know. I mean, I know you get recognized all the time, but it's kind of an interesting scenario that you're in now, right?
I got stopped on the street like 4 or 5 times already. Normally it's just to talk to me about me, but then it was like, oh, you no jumper wife. I'm like, yeah, yes.
He's like, yeah, let me pull it up. I got the video right here. You want to watch it with me? Treving says, ADAM22 next year after the plug's 15th vid. Jason, once you've wrecked her, you can use my pussy. You can use my pussy, man. I know she's blown out now.
Wow.
It's a business thing, man. It's a business thing. And he's like, yeah, man, everybody's different, man.
Insane.
Like, take a picture with my wife, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna get more of those offers.
See, I've only had a couple people say that to me. I'm sure he gets that all the time.
All the time.
Right. So if we do choose to have another kid, how am I going to know it's mine and not?
Oh my god, I can't. No, cut. What?
What?
Don't even bring that up. Are you kidding me?
Well, that's one of the good memes that people have been passing around. It's like me cuddling with your belly and it's a little black kid inside it.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
Is BBC offensive?
No, it's just a visual description. It's not. You're just saying it is what it is. You see it. That's what it is. It's not,
That's what I'm saying. But I wonder if
It's the clinical term. It's the scientific term. You know, if you were to look at a medical journal, they would say BBC. You know, that'd be the official abbreviation.
I get too comfortable with talking about black people shit because of the fact that like all my co-hosts on the podcast are black and stuff, because I've seen some of these.
So he doesn't want to overstep his bounds. He's concerned that he doesn't want to be offensive. You know, he's like, is it okay if I refer to your dick as a BBC that destroyed my wife's pussy to the degree that she couldn't walk or have sex with me for like 4 or 5 days? Would that be okay with you, Jason? You're not offended now, are you?
Lily white fucking hipster bitches on Twitter just raging out, being like, BBC is offensive. And I won't respond to them, but I am thinking in my head, like, you have never been around black people besides getting fucked by them for your OnlyFans, so shut the fuck up. That's kind of what's going on in the back of my head.
I don't like using it because I feel like I just feel uncomfortable using it.
I don't care if you.
Oh my God, she's one of these fucking people. He just tried to make a statement and she completely undercuts him. Low, actually, Adam, it is a little offensive. I don't feel comfortable with it. Is BBC the new N-word? What the fuck's going on out there?
You see a school bus and it's yellow. You're like, where did you park? By the big yellow school bus. What the fuck? That's what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's a statement of fact. And like, you know, in the real world, fetishization, I can see why that's a bad thing, you know? If you walk up to an Asian girl and you're like,
Why? No, in the real world, is okay. I guess he's saying the real world. I was gonna say like what? Like in the business world, Jason loves to be fetishized. Of course he does. That's how he makes his money.
oh, I'm so turned on by Asian girls. I can see how that's like a bad thing. But we're in.
Also, why is it a bad thing to have a fucking preference? I mean, yeah, you can be a degenerate coomer. That's the offensive part. Being into Asian girls, sorry, not offensive. They love it. I just saw that movie Joyride. I know they love it.
Porn. This is like we are here to satisfy fetishes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just the verbiage, like, you know.
Right.
It's been around for a minute now.
Yeah.
Dude, he's like he kind of reminds me of like Shaquille O'Neal. He's like Shaq.
Got coming up? Anything in the future that
it's cool with me, man.
Know about? You're
cool
going on some trips and stuff for for a brand, right?
Oh yeah, well I'm going to Europe for about 2 weeks, but I did just drop my book. So
What's the book?
that done good. It's called Louisiana Slim, the Family, about my previous life before I got to adult.
Really? Because I always wonder that when I see you with the tattoos on your face and everything. I'm like, I wonder what this guy was doing around town before he got into the porn game.
Selling crack, pimping girls, you know, being in jail.
A lot of things when you come from poverty, you know, you got to make it how you make it.
Yeah.
The truth.
Yeah, so listen, if you come to poverty, you come from poverty, there's really only one road to success, okay? And that's a life of crime. No other choice. I've been told this many times. I've been told this by Anna Kasparian many times over the years. Apparently she's changed her mind. But I've have it on good authority.
Well, we're gonna do like a full length interview at some point. But I appreciate you banging my wife.
Oh my god.
And yeah.
Well, I'm a professional, you know. I go in, I knock it out. That's what I do.
Hey, I absolutely.
I go in and I knock it out. Then he licks his lips.
Absolutely, I cannot hold it against you, my friend.
Did you see it yet?
I saw a few of the clips, and yeah, I think you put it down.
I believe if it was mainstream, it probably would win an award.
Oh, well, that's a big idea.
My assistant did give me the idea to submit it for an AVN. I was like, I don't know. I feel like this might be crossing the line.
Yeah, Pound Town. You just left Pound Town.
Do you have to? Is that like crossing the line? I guess maybe OnlyFans and the official, you know, the blacked.coms, the dogfart.coms. They don't like competing with these amateurs. Trelling says, I hope in that Joyride movie, Ted Levine keeps calling them candy cane in an Asian accent over the CB radio.
I was going to call it the wedding gift.
Mm. For the record, it's not literally your wedding gift, but it was something that we kind of like felt more comfortable.
Oh, dude, I totally called it. So that is what it was in the back of her mind. You know, she's thinking beach house. He's thinking, oh, I can finally be a cuck now.
Comfortable with after the wedding and whatnot, right?
It just makes sense. That's what everyone's latching onto. They just got married, you know? So.
All right, Mr. Love, appreciate you.
Bye, Jason.
Thank you. Bye, Lena.
Okay.
Bye, Lena, my love.
How was that for you?
My
a
God.
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable, why?
I mean,
he's just such an opportunistic piece of shit. He really is. Just there's nothing he will not exploit. Even his own life, his own wife. It's like, fuck.
In 7 years in this relationship, never look at a guy, dance with a guy, text back with a guy, nothing. And then I'm having sex with a guy. You know, it's just a lot to process. I've been conditioned to believe it's cheating.
Oh, it's on now. It's on now like fucking Donkey Kong. Okay, it's on like Donkey Kong. Trelling says, I'm surprised he didn't make her wear the wedding dress in the video. Hey, listen, if you really want to make money, maybe you should have. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we find out the video comes out, we see some screenshots or something, you know? Maybe she's wearing some sort of wedding type of garment. Maybe she's wearing what you wore underneath the dress. Yikes.
One time where we went to a dinner and there was another guy there that just happened to be there and you knew I had slept with him and you made me feel weird. So, yeah, it's just like a lot to unlearn.
You always mention that scenario, but there's a lot more.
There's a lot to unlearn. There's a lot. Yeah, I'm having like this very natural response that this is fucking weird. I got a lot to unlearn, guys.
So that scenario that she's not mentioning, and
That was not that much more.
I felt weird about it for other reasons.
Okay.
And it was like, it was your birthday and you're just bringing it up. I'm like, oh, cool. Make me think about you fucking this guy over here.
Okay, anyways.
I know.
You were mad about it.
I was a little mad at that time. I was much less emotionally mature or whatever.
I'm clearly emotionally immature. I'm like giggling that you and Jason were just on the call together. So
Right,
clearly
so that was awkward for you?
She's giggling, thinking about the future. And so is Adam. Adam brought it up. He's like, yo, yeah, maybe next time we're all together, we just hook up or something. And Jason Love's like, yeah, we'll make a video or something. He's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll make a video or something.
Yes!
me and him
And
exchanging
him
energy.
talking about it, just being like, I put it down, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, but he's smart. He clarifies right away. It was a business move. You know, we're just making money.
Yeah, he's super smart, dude. Like, you know, talking about your wife like she's a piece of, like she's the furniture. You know, I put it down, man. I do what I do.
You know? Which is nice.
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't enjoy it at all. I'm sure it sucked for
I
him.
probably hated it. He did say we were 9.
All right, so you see it.
All right, everybody. Finally, we did it. We're through. We're through the saga. The Jason Love, ADAM22, Leaning the Plug saga. It's finally over. It's done. It's in the books. I guess that'll be the YouTube clip for this episode.